Okay, so what I'm talking about today is the fact that the government seems to trying to be kind of controlling everyone's diets now. Um, like, there's, excuse me, I'm sorry. There's new, like, health regulations, all that stuff like that, which I can understand can be good. But there's some that they've suggested in the past that are just absolutely ridiculous. Like, for kids being overweight, there would be like extra taxes. If you have an obese child, you get taxed more. Like, that was suggested at one point. And like, I understand where the government is coming from. I understand that we have a rising obesity epidemic in the United States. Like, it really is. It's getting crazy. Like, I saw a little kid the other day. The maybe was like 8, and he was like huge. It was like scary. It's like, to me, it's like it's upsetting that you let your kid get that big at that age. That means you're just shoving food down his throat to keep him quiet. But like I said, I understand where the government is coming from, because they do. They want to bring down the obesity epidemic. They want to make our country a better place. But it's like, by doing that, they're like getting into our personal lives almost. Like, by telling us what we can and can't eat and all this and that. It's like, that's a little too much for the government to do. So like, because like, by them doing that, what it does, it takes away a freedom that we have, a personal freedom of like being able to choose what we want, which is like, this country's all about like the right to be free, to do what we want, say what we want, all that kind of stuff. And so by them going in and trying to limit all this stuff, you're taking away that freedom. And to be honest, like, I don't feel that it's the government's responsibility to regulate that, because honestly, when a child is younger, like age like 10 and younger, or maybe even a little bit like 8 or younger, it's the parent's responsibility of what you're feeding your child. You need to know what you're putting in your child's mouth. The whole giving them food as a reward thing is not a good thing, because every time they do something right, they're gonna expect that. So they're gonna do a lot of things right, so they're gonna get like treats like ice cream or cookies or cake, or they're gonna go to the bakery down the street and grab something, or like, because that's what I used to do when I was little. Like, there was the Yum Yum Shop bakery in my town. If I get good grades in my report card, my parents would go and they would give me a treat. If I behaved after school, they'd go and get me a treat, like stuff like that. Like when we were younger, which is part of the contributing factor as to why I got so overweight as I grew older, because I was just so used to eating all this junk food. If I did something good, I rewarded myself with junk food. Not, I did something good, I rewarded myself with like a piece of clothing or a new bracelet or new necklace. It was like, oh, I did good, let's go get myself some ice cream. Like, that's how, like, it's so like more of the parents' responsibility than it is the government's, because the parents are the one, when you're younger, influencing your child to eat these foods. And then when you grow up and you get older, when you get into like junior high school age, that's the child's responsibility, what they put in their mouth. Because the parents can try to get you to eat healthy foods and all that stuff like that, but as you get older and you get into high school and junior high, it's your responsibility what you put in your mouth. So it's like the government trying to step in and control it. It's really like, I feel like it's not their place, because it's not like we're the government's children, we're our parents' children. They're the ones that take control of our lives when we're younger, and then we take control of our own lives, and it's personal choice that shouldn't be limited by what the government says. I mean, I understand it's a lot harder nowadays, because I mean, like, it's amazing to me all the gross stuff that has happened with the fast food industry. Like, when I was younger, the small drink at Wendy's right now was the large when I was younger. I mean, within the past like 4 or 5 years is when that changed. Because when I was younger, the small was like the size of what like a Frosty is. This big was a small. Now it's the large is the small, and it's like everything is ridiculous. It's disgusting. Like, I can't even eat fast food anymore, to be honest with you. It's been 6 months since I've had a piece of fast food, because I look at it and I just think of how disgusting it is, and all the calories that are in it, and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I mean, it's kind of weird because like Wendy's is actually, according to like a survey that like I looked at for a class that I did, Wendy's is actually basically the healthiest fast food restaurant in like the fast food restaurant chain things. Like when I'm saying fast food restaurants, I mean like Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, stuff like that, not like sit down restaurants. Like there's that. But then there's also Subway, which is probably, even though I don't think Subway's technically a fast food restaurant, it's a sandwich shop, I think. But Subway is definitely healthiest from Wendy's, because healthier than Wendy's, because you get a lot more choices. That's what I do. I do Subway. I love Subway. But yeah, so like there's so many calories and so much fat and all that stuff like that, and like they do anything and everything to drag you in to eat it. Like all the advertising that they do, they make everything look good. All the people who are eating this fast food on the commercials, they're all skinny. But like, if you eat that all the time, you're not gonna be skinny. Like if you've ever seen the movie Super Size Me, like it's disgusting. You will never want to eat McDonald's again. It's about this guy that does this challenge. He was like eating an all vegan diet or something like that, and for a month he ate McDonald's for every meal, every day. And if they asked to supersize it, he had to. The guy gained weight. In a month, he gained weight. He had heart problems. He had issues with breathing. He was tired all the time. He was in a bad mood. Like, from a month of this. So imagine these people who do it all the time, like, their whole life. Like, it's disgusting. And, like, I look back at how often I used to eat all that crap, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, oh my god, it's so bad for you. But, like, it's definitely, like, you don't, until recently they didn't have any this is the good part about the regulations. They didn't have the regulation to say how many calories were in each thing. Like, now they have to have it readily available for you to see how many calories are in each thing. Like, it was really cool. I went out to California, and while we were out there visiting my brother, we went to Applebee's one night, and on the menu itself, it says how many calories are on each menu next to it on the menu. How many calories on each item next to it on the menu. But yeah, so I thought it was really cool. And like, that's the good part about these kind of food regulations that are going around, because like, then you know how many calories are in each thing. Like, do you want to pick the fried chicken sandwich that has 864 calories in it or more, or do you want the grilled chicken sandwich that has 400 and something calories in it? Like, that way you're more educated on what's in it and how bad it is for you, and just pick the lesser of two evils almost if you're gonna go. But yeah, so it's just the food industry itself. It's gone downhill. Like, the stuff they used to do, like Wendy's used to make all the hamburgers by hand, all the stuff like that. Because my dad was actually at the one in my town. My dad was the original staff. He was a manager there, and he used to come in every morning, wicked early, and he'd make the hamburgers. They'd make the hamburgers by hand. Now they still don't freeze the hamburgers, but they come like in patties every day. Like, so, like nowadays they just it's like they take the easy way out with stuff like that. So yeah, it's just the food industry itself, the government getting in on the food industry, and all that stuff it's a frustrating situation for all of us. This is just me ranting. I probably didn't make any sense going through this whole entire thing, but sorry guys again. Just comment, subscribe, rate, all that jazz. Tell me what you think. Do you think the food industry is out of control? Do you think that it's perfectly fine? Do you think that the government should step in more than it is, or do you think the government stepping in is out of their zone of what they should do? So yeah, let me know. Leave comments, all that crap. Yeah. Bye. Peace.